You and I, we've talked often about intuition and allowing our own intuition to guide us. How do you access your intuitive wisdom? And how would you describe this idea of an intuitively guided mindset?
You know what? So it's quite funny. It's not funny. I don't even think about it.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
literally, and I don't know if that's I, well, trust is a priority. But
Mhm.
let me just pull it back. Heart coherent is the exercise or the words how Moira started this our podcast right here. That is a beautiful way to start your day
Absolutely. Yeah.
and end your day.
Yep.
I
And
want
and do in the middle of your day.
Debs is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
hi.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset podcast conversations. And OMG, this is a good one. It's actually so close to my heart. We are talking about cultivating an intuitively guided mindset. That's really how I roll,
At least.
at least. Um,
Yeah.
but before we get into our conversation about how to cultivate an intuitively guided mindset, we just want you to bring your awareness to where you are. And if you can, if you just take a nice deep breath, and if you're in a position where you can put your hands over your heart, one or both, just take a nice deep breath in, filling you up, and breathe it out through your mouth with a long sigh, landing here in this space and time. Take another deep breath in. And with your awareness, just drop a cord in whatever way is right for you. A cord, anchoring cord down into the core of Mother Earth, anchoring you, getting you stably into this moment, grounding you. And then breathe that nurturing energy back up into your heart space. Really feeling yourself present, really feeling yourself right here, right now. And then send a cord or a ribbon, a beam of connecting energy up into the universe, up into the cosmos, allowing that to connect. And then also bring and breathe in that beautiful energy down into your heart space. And then just set an intention. Set an intention for yourself. What would you like to take away from this conversation? Do you want to get more in touch with your intuition? Do you want to understand what intuition is? Do you want to just connect with my energy, with Deb's energy, and with every other being that's listening to this conversation? Doesn't matter when or where, we actually are all connected. And that's why we like to do this wee exercise of just connecting to the earth, connecting to the cosmos, and then connecting our collective energy from a heart space. Because that's how we can create massive shifts and changes for the collective. So, dear listeners, now we'll switch gears. Now that you're connected at the heart, connected and present, we encourage you to grab a note-taking device, your favorite note-taking, whatever that is, pen or pencil, paper, or your electronic device, because we are going to start talking about cultivating an intuitively guided mindset. So, dear Deb, you and I, we've talked often about intuition and allowing our own intuition to guide us. How do you access your intuitive wisdom? And how would you describe this idea of an intuitively guided mindset?
You know what? So it's quite funny. It's not funny. I don't even think about it.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
literally, and I don't know if that's I, well, trust is a priority. But
Mhm.
let me just pull it back. Heart coherent is the exercise or the words how Moira started this our podcast right here. That is a beautiful way to start your day
Absolutely. Yeah.
and end your day.
Yep.
I
And
want
and do in the middle of your day.
and do whenever you feel like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be, oh my gosh, it's the morning, I need to do this thing, or oh no, I got up at 8 o'clock and it's now 10 o'clock and I haven't done it. Do it whenever.
Yep.
But I just want to pull back to that. Uh the just the words that Moira said, the feeling of that, the being present, the absorbing it all. And Moira words them a little bit differently each time.
Hmm.
There's words that I hear. So her script, if you say script, is just flowing.
Hmm.
So I think I don't know how many tips you can get out of that, people, because it is literally to cultivate an intuitive guided mindset. That heart coherent that Moira talked about, it's flowing. It just comes naturally. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, there's definitely bullet points we can take from all of those, but that's what it feels like. But if you ask me, how do I do it? I just don't think about it.
Mm.
Yeah. So tip number one, Deborah doesn't even think, it just happens. There you go. That's not going to help people.
Well, no,
But
but I actually did put a wee bit. It's like, don't think about it, but trust,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just when you're forcing, we all know when you're forcing something,
Hmm.
it don't happen. It don't happen. Let's just go there. It don't happen. And when it does, it's forced. You can see it, feel it. It's an icky feeling. But
Hmm.
trust is, yeah, it just flows. Trust. Yeah. I don't know if that really helps you, Moira. But
Well, I think that when we are in touch with our intuitive nature, we are all intuitive. So,
yeah.
and I'm saying that to any of the listeners that are saying, "Oh, I'm not."
Oh, bless those people. You're right, because people do that. They
They
go,
do.
"Oh, I'm not intuitive," and I'm like, "What? You knew so-and-so was going to ring because you walked towards the phone? Oh no, that's not intuitive." Like, okay,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
okay,
So the thing is that as a society, particularly in the Western world, we are kind of conditioned to be more in our left brain, to be more logical, practical,
yeah,
goal-oriented, masculine, driven, get things done.
yeah.
And you know the thing about that
Well, that's
attitude, there's always a right and a wrong. There's always a right and a wrong with that approach. You either did or you didn't.
yeah,
Whereas we also all have the right brain, the creative, the intuitive, the just let's take things one step at a time or flow into it and trust. There's such huge trust when we really tap into that right brain. And the other part, which I like to say, is there is never a right and a wrong on that
yeah.
aspect. So I don't know about you, but I would really like us collectively to recalibrate to that, that it's more of a flow. And guess what? We are all in the right place at the right time. Everything that's happening around us, through us, to us, is divinely orchestrated. And can we celebrate it?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Yeah, it does. And just when you're saying that, I was visualizing when you talk about the left and right, I was visualizing school. Now,
Yeah.
like you go to school, you go to a classroom, and I'm sure we've all got memories from school that we hold on to, and some we want to let go of, and all the rest of it. Um, but that's exactly it. You've got the fidgeters in the class. We call
Right.
them fidgeters, and that's the right brain.
Hmm.
Is, oh, I can't sit still, I can't do this, which is often, and I'm going to throw it out there, often now labeled ADHD.
Yes.
And I'm going to say often, I'm not going to say 100% because I'm not here to upset you all, but go for it if you want to get upset. But it's the fidgeters. It's the, oh, I can't sit still, can't do that. They're not designed or wired to think like the left brain who need pen, pencil, listen, give me that information, let me do it, let me implement it, whatever it is, let me
Mhm.
take action. Just give me 3 tips. I don't need to know the 10 tips. I want the 3 and I want to get done now.
Yep.
And so that is where we do have that clash between the left and the right. But I'm thinking of when I was in classrooms, there was there are the fidgeters.
Mm.
We label them. I used to label them fidgeters, but they're just they're part of that. And having that trust is really just trust that you are actually a left brain and a right brain in
Yeah.
something. You're not. Not everyone is not left brain. Not everyone is right brain.
We all have we
Right.
all have both of them. Yeah.
I know, yeah. People are
Mhm.
like, no, no, I'm just a left brain person. You can't be a left brain person because what's happening to your right brain?
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's
Yeah.
just, but I think having that trust that it flows
Mhm.
and it's okay. And your
Mhm.
left brain will come in and your right brain will come in. I mean, that's the perfect ideal, which is literally cultivating an intuitive guided mindset, is
100%.
having that trust that the left's going to come at the right time, the right's going to come at the right time, and it's going to flow together.
Mhm.
I don't, did that make any sense?
Well, it did, because the truth is, like why we have both of them is we actually all do need both of them,
I
because
know.
it's the left brain that will get it'll write all the things on the grocery list that you need, because the left brain says, oh, look, there's,
We
we're
need
running
milk.
out of butter, we need milk, we need eggs. Oh, whoops, that's all left brain. But
Yeah.
then the right brain can go, oh, look, there's these ingredients. What creative awesomeness can I create out of this? And have a bit of a sense of fun and play with it.
Yeah.
So I personally am, and I work on this, the intuitively guided mindset is that I cultivate equal left and right brain. I'm actually quite balanced in the left and right hemispheres. But I also know some people that are completely, like, they favor the right brain.
Yeah.
But those people have very hard time creating creating like a project, or writing a book, or developing a script for a meditation or something like that.
Mm.
Whereas they might be good at leading it and immersing people into the feeling aspect. Whereas then on the other side, I know people who are very, very left brain, and it's like there's too much to get done, too many things to look after, that I'm not wasting my time doing this woo-woo weird focus on my breathing stuff.
What BS is that?
Oh
Come on.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's not gonna help me get on the track and run. That's not gonna help me put that program together. But
But that's why I'm saying is that can both think, and listeners, I'm sure you can think of examples too of somebody that's gone too far into one spectrum or the other, whether it's left or right.
yeah,
But I think that cultivating an intuitively guided mindset means having really up-leveled self-awareness and
yeah,
bringing the two together,
yeah,
right? And cultivating time for left brain activities, cultivating time for right brain activities, and actually having something to feed those needs within you each and every day. It's actually part of your sacred self-care.
yeah. Well, even when you're saying that, so we started with trust. The left and right brain is actually a whole tip on its own. Just
Mm-hmm.
people, I'm just going to throw that in there because it's. But also, Moira said to celebrate lot or celebrate
Yeah.
back then, and that's another tip on its own as well. I don't want to miss that one. But going back to the left and right brain and putting them together, seeing the beauty in them both, and seeing that and that's why I just brought out that celebrate, seeing the beauty in them both of your left and right, and appreciating your left brain to get shit done, and appreciate your right brain to come up with the ideas.
Hmm.
If that's how it could be, or maybe just come up with the idea and then the left brain has to create the bullet points for it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Or I'm giving you an assignment, left
yeah,
brain.
here's your assignment. but not trying to avoid one side, because for me, if somebody's like, when I grew up, I understood left brain, right brain. But for me, the woo-woo, the weird people,
Mm.
I'm in that category now. Now I'm
Mhm.
older, I realize I am that one. That's the right brain.
Yep.
But I have the left brain as well. And I
Mhm.
think appreciating them both just is 100% cultivating your intuitive guided mindset. 100%. But actually you're seeing it. And I know some people say the masculine and feminine,
That's right.
and which is the masculine brain, the feminine, and actually just seeing that everybody has both
Yep.
to their degree. Now, if you talk to Moira and I, we are different people, but we're not in certain things. But Moira's right brain works just softer, more. It's just a little bit different to mine. But if I was to compare myself to Moira, it might throw me off as well. So when you're cultivating that intuitive guided mindset, what's your comparison? I'm throwing out tips here.
Yeah, it's like, don't compare.
Yeah, forget the comparing, because that's unhealthy for you. You're not going to cultivate an intuitive guided mindset with that. The moment you start going, Moira's got this, she has a calming voice. We all know that. I own my voice is not that calming to some people. And you don't have to comment, people. It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna, you know. But 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 that is just knowing that yeah, no comparison.
no
Celebrate
compare.
each step
Yep.
and know that you're no longer, like, we're just movable. We move. Some days we're left and some days we're right. And well, we're left and right all day long anyway.
Well, we
It's
are.
not just some days. It
We
just
are.
flows. It flows. I don't know. There's a gazillion tips in that. And
I've been
yeah,
grabbing a few, but you know what I
thanks.
want to bring in here as a completely separate tip, and it completely relates to what we've just been talking about, is to do
The
a
four agreements.
we'll come to that one. But no, it's the PEMS. PEMS, physical,
Oh,
emotional, mental, and spiritual.
yes.
Because, and this is so this can actually help you get in touch with your own intuitively guided mindset. So we've been talking a lot about left brain, right brain, masculine, feminine. Sometimes I say being and doing. We
Yes.
all have that. These are the two hemispheres. Actually, it's the two hemispheres of our brain, two
Yeah.
hemispheres of every individual. But the physical and mental, those are the left brain components. Those are the masculine components. And the
Mm,
emotional and spiritual are the right brain. They're the feminine attributes. And so when you're doing, that's why I did it a moment ago, is to saying sacred self-care. In order to really be in touch with, how do you receive your intuition? For some
mm,
people, that it's just a knowing. For other people, it's they see a vision. Or for other people, it could just be that the idea just lands. So each one of us has our own unique flavor, our own unique way of receiving our intuitive guidance. You receive it so much more trusting, in a trusting way, like you're capable of trusting it so much more when you look after all four pillars of you: the physical,
mm.
emotional, mental, and spiritual. And that's what I'm saying, that's actually creating that sense of equilibrium for you. Does that make sense, Deb?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. There's actually nothing I can say onto that.
So this is the thing. So Deb said a few tips ago about doing some form of heart coherence at the beginning of your day and at the end of your day, and I was saying in the middle of your day also.
Yeah, of course. I didn't even think of it. Yeah.
But I also really encourage at the start of your day is to always look at, how am I feeling physically? How am I feeling emotionally? How am I feeling mentally? How am I feeling spiritually? And actually fill your cup. Like, what kind of sacred self-care practices can you implement? And it doesn't
Mm.
have to be a huge, long, drawn out thing. It could just be 5 minutes focusing on your breath, feeling your body, stretching, moving,
Um,
saying some affirmations, having some gratitude. Those are some of the perfect ways to bring yourself into that sense of balance and flow with your left and right, or your masculine and feminine, right?
Yeah, the sacred self-care is, and we've talked about this from pretty much most podcasts,
Mhm.
is that you can have that sitting there, that sacred self-care, whatever it is. Today I'm going to pull a card and it's going to be
Yeah.
go for a walk
Yeah.
or drink from your left hand. I don't know if that's going to work because
Brush your teeth with your left hand.
yeah, 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 yeah. And appreciate your left hand more than your right hand sometimes, because when you have an accident and you have to do certain
Yep.
things, it's a little bit
Yep.
of a learning experience for us all.
Yep.
Um,
Been there.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think that I want to jump to the cultivating intuitive guided mindset. Is when I think about this, is I go back to the four agreements. I literally just went to my drawer and pulled them out when I was thinking about this. And if I mean, I just love the four agreements, and sometimes I do something and then I'm like, ha, four agreements, Deborah, pull yourself back, cancel, cancel, cancel. Let's get back to that. And I love them because they are just so simple. And I have these cards that are, I don't know, a deck card. So I'm actually going to expand on the four agreements here right now. But one of them is be impeccable with your word.
Mhm.
And this is what it says at the back of it. Your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God.
Mm.
And it's just, if you're wondering about what impeccable with your word means, just exactly that. The next one is always do your best. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. Letting go of the past means that you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now.
Mm.
They're not as intimidating as what you think. When I have this, I looked and I went, wow, these are actually beautiful. By the way, people, I don't look at the other side of the card. I just look at the one thing that has, this one says don't make assumptions, and it says eliminate gossip with a cute picture. That's all I've looked at. I don't look at the back side, so this is all new to me. But I'm looking at the back side of that, says, so it's don't make assumptions. Making assumptions is a setup for suffering because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right when we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong.
Mm.
And it just wraps the one core of it into a little beautiful gift, I think. Don't take anything personally, please.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
It's
this
not
is
about you. It's not about you.
which is apparently the hardest. I talked to my daughter at the weekend. She's, that's the hardest, mum. When you see other people as they are without taking it personally, you can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it's okay because they are lying to you because they're afraid you will discover that they are not perfect.
Mm.
Aren't they just beautiful? Like
Well,
the
they fill in the gaps when we say them, because I will often say, just for today, just for today. Don't take
yes.
things personally. But actually, it's really funny because before we hit record, we were talking about something that I initially took personally when I saw. Remember, I told you that story of
Oh,
I saw
yes.
something on social media and I went, "Oh, nobody invited me," and so
Mm.
that kind of,
Speak up.
taking it. But my immediate reaction after that, as soon as that thought came, was like, oh, they're just not my people.
Yeah.
And so it's not it's like, yeah, it's got nothing to do with me. Whatever they're
And
doing has nothing to do with me. Right?
I know, and that beautiful, they're not my people is not it's not, I'm gonna say it's not from an ego place.
No,
It's
no.
actually
That was from a
oh,
heart
not my
heart
people.
place. Yeah, from
Oh,
a heart place.
fuel. Oh, I don't, this is not mine to hold on to, attach to. And that is that is how you can cultivate your guided mindset.
Yeah.
Just once you can see, well, see, hear, acknowledge. As soon as you see, hear, acknowledge people, here we go, here's another one.
Mhm.
Once you see, hear, and acknowledge people for who they are, and that is the be impeccable with you. It's always do your best. Don't make assumptions. Don't take things personally. More the last two, but when you can see people for who they are from a heart place,
Yeah.
not an ego. Well, they're just mean, and I would never be part of that. And I don't like them. It's not that. It's actually that heart coherent again,
Mhm.
back to your heart,
Mhm.
which goes to my favorite saying: "May your head and heart speak with one voice," which comes from a tea bag of Moira's,
It does. One of my
and that
teabag
came
quotes.
up. I know, and that came up in my Facebook Live last week. I love that. So even when Moira said just for today, just for today, just for this meeting, just for this morning, may your head and heart speak with one voice. Just for today, don't take anything personally. Just for today, I'm going to be impeccable with my word. It just
Hmm.
allows you to function on what is in front of you right here, right now. And that is a lot, that alone is incorporating the left and right brain, merging them
100%.
together. Just that.
But to tag on to the quote that you just said, head and heart speak with one voice, is to ask that question. And I've said that oftentimes in our conversations is
I know what you're going to say.
how does
Oh,
this make me feel about me?
yeah.
So when we ask that question, I actually like to ask that question with my hand over my heart because
Mhm.
my feeling is going to come from my heart. Whereas my head might be saying, oh, you know, like indignation or upset
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
discombobulation of some sort, right? But how does this make me feel about me? It might make me feel a bit wary or nervous or questioning, but cultivating an intuitive guided mindset means even in times where I don't really know the answer, I can
Mm.
trust, I can surrender, I can just say, you know what, there's no answer right now. That's okay. So what
Yeah.
can I do? For
Yeah.
all of the things that we might say, oh, well, I can't do that and I can't do that and I can't go over there, there's always something you can. And so where are you
Yeah.
putting your attention? So this is about choosing your preferences, choosing how you speak to and about yourself, right?
Well, even that, how you speak to yourself, what you just said then, like that alone pulls you back into your heart space because would you talk to you would you talk to
Yeah,
your
yeah,
friend the way you talk to yourself?
yeah.
And to get yourself out is cancel, cancel, cancel. Can't even say it. Cancel, cancel, cancel. When you do say those things like, "Oh, you're so stupid, Deborah. You've done this. Why did you fall for this again?" You know, to pull because we do have those thoughts. People just, you know, uh, be real.
Mhm.
Don't try and avoid them, but just go cancel, 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 and it's a fun way just to cancel and remove that wisdom that came out your mouth that we're just wrapping in a atomic bomb and sending it on its way to 1,000. But
Ah,
we wouldn't, some of the words we say to ourselves, we would never say to a friend, and definitely not a friend who's going through emotional wobbles. Definitely
truly.
not.
So that's another tip, and I'm going to put this as a tip by itself about where you're saying choosing how you speak to and about yourself. And I actually really encourage people to use a term of endearment to themselves. So choose something that you like being called. Because for some people, it's sweetheart or sweetie or honey or
Yeah.
pumpkin or honey, whatever that is. And so when you're having your internal conversation, call yourself that.
Yeah.
So you might have that inner dialogue and say, oh, you did it again. Well, can you then take a step, put your hand on your heart and say,
Oh,
it's okay,
honey.
sweetie. It's okay, sweetie.
Yeah.
We can reset, we can regroup, this is all on the way, not in the way, right?
Yeah.
So it's
I've
about
never,
lifting yourself up.
yeah. I don't call myself anything. When you're asking me that, I'm like, what do you call yourself? I'm like, that's interesting. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch what I call myself. Like, oh, come on, hun. Oh, yeah, I probably do, hun. Hun is probably my one. I'm gonna watch that one now.
Watch
Got a
that
little
one.
I come back to that one. We'll see it is. Hmm. But I think I want to say about this cultivating intuitive guided mindset. Life is not hard. I really want to emphasize this. Life is not hard. It's meant to be fun and
Hmm.
enjoyable and inspiring and um, challenging in ways that make us grow and expand. Like life is not, it's not all doom and gloom.
No,
If you're focusing what you think about, you bring about. Here,
that's
put
right.
it this way.
Hmm.
So if you're thinking life is doom and gloom, guess what you're going to have? Because
That's it.
those people who live in that mindset, um, what do they attract? They attract more doom and gloom to confirm their story
Hmm.
online.
Well,
So
becomes the filter through which they see and judge everything outside them, right?
and it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything's wrong in this world. So the moment you start going, life can be effortless, life can flow,
Mhm.
life is actually a blessing, things are on the way, not in the way. The moment you start changing those things, what you think about, you bring about. It just, it happens and you don't even question it. So for me, stuff happens and people go, how did you do that? I'm like, oh, I believed.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debs have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Which sounds to me, which sounds weird. If someone said to me back in high school, because they clearly did, my teacher many times tried to teach me certain things. I was like, that's weird. You can't just do that. You've got to, that's right brain. He was trying to teach right brain, and I was clearly left brain arguing. But when you get into that space, it's like, yeah, it is. Actually, life is magical. And yes, this happened, and I'm selling my car at the moment, and someone did offer this money and this, and then they didn't turn up. And so was that magical? Not at the time, because I definitely was pretty cranky. But I just know, and it's that trust, and it's all on the way, not in the way.
Yep.
I think, and what I think about, if I'm worried that no one's going to buy my car, what am I thinking? I'm literally putting that.
You're saying nobody's gonna, no, putting a big
Yeah.
block there. Nobody's
Yeah.
buying my car.
Yeah, no one's going to come and buy my car. No blooming wonder. And I've looked at it and I've giggled and I've gone, oh yeah. Every time so I was like, oh, I don't like them. I don't want them to have my car. The next thing they don't get my car, and I'm like, damn, Deborah, damn,
Look what you made. Look what you made.
Cancel,
So this is that saying, I don't know who said this, is energy grows where attention goes, or energy flows where attention goes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and this is something that I've often said too, and I telling the truth about myself about worry. We all do it. Everybody does it from one degree to one degree or another. However, it's so important to understand that worry is us flowing energy to that which we would not want to have happen.
Yeah.
So that's when it's superbly important to call yourself terms of endearment. It's okay, honey.
Yeah.
Just releasing that, letting it go. We've got this. Come back into flow, come back into present awareness. And intuitively guided mindset can say, it's all taken care of. It's all flowing as it should, or as it needs to.
Yeah.
And not taking things personally. So it's about really, that to me is the antidote for worry, is to remind myself that I am feeding energy to that which I would rather not have happen. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yes, release worry. Releasing worry can actually really help you get in touch with your intuition also, because sometimes what's blocking your awareness or your capacity to receive your intuitive download or intuitive insight is that there's too much blah, blah, blah. What about this? What about this? Oh my God. Oh my God. That's worry.
That's one heck of a crazy train to get on.
Yeah.
That is one heck of a crazy train to get on. And when you're on that, there's only one way off, and that's to jump. It's to jump off. But when you're on there, you got to hold on tight, because it is a journey. It's a full, I was going to say full frontal, but you're going full like full tit or whatever you want to say, but it is.
Full
but
tilt.
Just releasing, full throttle. That's a nicer way of putting it. But when you release that worry, that 100% brings you back to cultivating that intuitive guided mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to say you can't hang on, you can't stuff up life.
You can't get it wrong.
Yeah, you can't. So people, then I pause, just so you know where I paused on that. You can't stuff up life. No matter what you do or don't do, you are worthy of love, and other people are worthy of love. You can't stuff up anything you do in life. This is just an experience for you to look and go, oh, I'm going to change that for next time. Or, wow, look at the beauty in that. You literally can't. Nobody wants to be born and stay in that world, that body, that mindset, right from one day old all the way through life. We are here to grow, evolve, experience, learn, fall down, get back up. There's beauty in the falling down. There's beauty in the getting back up. Look at the people around us. You just can't stuff it up. Life is meant to be magical,
Yep.
and throw some flippin' glitter and sprinkle, and you just can't stuff it up. I don't know. I don't know how else to say that.
I like that one. You can't stuff it up and you're worthy of love. But what that just took me right to, and I'm surprised we didn't bring it up already, is gratitude.
What? Have we not? What? You're
I
right.
know.
We did say
Well,
celebrate
we did
life.
celebrate. Yeah. Yeah.
Just wasn't, we
Celebrate.
didn't say a lot of, yes,
Just didn't say
gratitude.
gratitude. Well, because I was thinking as you were saying about can't stuff it up, is to when we have gratitude, then you can actually appreciate the lessons. You know, when things fall apart, maybe things fall apart because there's greater things falling together, right?
Mm,
So it's kind of like it's on the flow, and what makes
yeah.
something more of an ordeal could actually just be the way you think about it,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So
I
can you
just,
get into that sense of appreciation and I've got this, and all is well in my world. That's one of my favorite ones. All is well in my world.
but just all is well in my world. Just even saying that, even if you feel it's not, and you're just trying to convince yourself, as I say that, you can't convince yourself to, when you say that, you can't, your body takes it.
Hmm.
Like, you can't lie.
Nope.
Even if you go, all is well in my world, but it's not because the garden's not watered and this is it. All is well in my world. Your body hears all is well in my world. Your mind hears that. Your core being, your intuitive guided mindset hears that and feels that.
I say it to myself every single morning. All
Oh,
is
do
well in
you?
my world. That's how I start my day. All is well in my world.
Oh,
All is well in my world. And my cat agrees with me, and she'll stretch and yeah, all is well in her world too. That's how we
I
start
do.
our day here.
You know what? I know we're about to wrap up, and I haven't given Moira the time of that, but I just have to giggle because I think from this, we started with our tip being heart coherent.
Mm,
And the last, what Moira just did then, and what would be the ending of that of our tips, is all is well in my world. Again, a heart coherent
yeah.
beauty again.
Yeah.
So ignore everything else in the middle of what we've just
There's
talked
the
about.
beautiful sandwich, intuitively guided mindset.
But it is just when you said that, I went, oh my gosh, that's heart coherent again. And then I looked at the time and went, okay, Deborah, it's your job to start wrapping up and pre-warn Moira and all the rest of it.
And then here we are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's and here we are. So let's go into our left brain
To be
and go into
more
our
logical, need to bring some logic in here.
yeah, let's go into our left brain and sum up the techniques we've shared with you to cultivate that intuitive guided mindset. So if you didn't listen to Moira at the start, and if you didn't listen to her and you're looking at writing these down, grab that note taking device now because we are going to share what we've summed up here. I love the way you just ended that all is well in our world. Anyway, heart coherent, got me. So tip. Oh, see, this is where there was like a gazillion tips where I just spoke. Moira asked one question
And we
and
just went blah.
yeah. So I'm going to start because all I got was one and then I wrote 3 bullet points down but didn't write with the bullet points. So I'm just so mine was the heart coherent. When Moira started the day with the heart coherent exercise, I said, start your day with it. And Moira went, do it any time throughout the day. And you're right. It doesn't have to be start your day and end your day in the middle. And at 12 o'clock, I need to set a reminder to do this. It just flows. So your heart coherent is pulling you back to your heart again. And that 100% cultivates that intuitive guided mindset
Most definitely.
of the day.
Yep. So the
Yeah.
the one that I had written, and because you did that, but that one of the things you said before you went into that was don't think about it. Don't think about what's intuition and how do I receive my guidance, and you just trust that it's there and then follow it, because
Yeah.
some of the tips that we talked about when we'll get into them more is about really being very conscious and aware of your being and doing, your masculine and feminine, your left and right brain, right? But trust is such an important piece here, because without trust, we second guess and we talk ourselves out and talk, we'll intuitively get a message to do something, and then our inner chatter says, no, don't be silly, can't be that simple. And then guess what?
Ta-da!
Yep.
Ta-da!
Whoops.
Yeah, what's your next tip there, Moira? I'm just going to go through until I can find a tip that I've actually written down.
Okay, well, that's where we went. I
Because
talked
we went,
about the left and right brain, and
yeah,
I said that in the Western world in particular, we are conditioned to really focus on the left brain, the
yeah,
logical, the action taking. And that's when you talked about the fidgeters
yeah,
in class, and you mentioned about ADHD as being a label that's used a lot now.
yeah.
But um, actually, I was thinking that when you were talking about that, I was always thought of as the dreamer in school. It was like Moira's daydreaming all
Oh,
the time. I was a daydreamer. Yeah, but I actually was taking it in. I
yeah,
did really
see,
good
see,
at
we all
school.
learn differently, and I think that's that beautiful thing. We all learn differently. We get there in the end. We all get,
Hmm.
doesn't matter, like the map says go left and the other one says go right, and you always go straight, or
Yeah.
go left or right, but we all get to the same destination in the end. Just our journey is visually and energetically different.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah,
then from that part, when we were discussing that, I wrote that it's important to look after both sides because we
yeah,
need both. We
yeah.
talked a wee bit, and I invited the listeners to think about people that we can think of that are, go too far into the depending on right brain, just right brain, and then some people who go too far into just depending on left brain, because
Yeah.
they're stuck in some ways. People who go too much on the left and too much on the right, they're stuck. They
Mm,
need to blend and bring some more equilibrium into that, right?
together. Yeah.
Hmm. Where are you? Do you have a
No,
point?
no.
No?
Well, I've got an asterisk saying flow.
Okay.
I've got an asterisk saying celebrate life, and I've got an asterisk saying movable, not concrete. There's my
There
three
you go.
tips for
Well, we
those.
did do celebrate, and that's when we were saying celebrate and see the beauty in both the left and the right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
because then, celebrate your capacity to be logical, celebrate your
mm,
capacity to be artsy, um
yeah,
and then this next one I have here was from you about don't compare yourself to others. So that's
yeah,
a wee bit about, like you were saying, that each one of us learned in our own unique way. Each one of us leads with our own propensity for the masculine or feminine. I've
yeah,
actually depended a lot on my masculine traits to get through. I mean, I'm an Aries too. My sun sign's Aries, so that's part of what makes that masculine driven, get things done, be more left brain, but then it to cultivate that part. So how I do things is totally different to Deb, right?
but yeah, yes, and I think about that, and there's times that I have changed over the years, and I've actually gone, okay, bringing in the right brain and the left, like bringing all that in and
Hmm.
just having that as movable. But you're right, celebrating each step of the way. And that's so now I've got a tip, which
Okay,
was
good.
no comparison. I'm up now, I'm up,
Okay,
which
good.
was no comparison of comparing yourself to others, but appreciating their journey
Yeah,
of who they are.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, the next tip I have is sacred self-care. I don't know where that is. Is that somewhere in yours or not? Or
Not
do
yet. Not
Well,
yet.
okay,
Because
so I'll pause until Moira keeps filling in the gaps until we catch up to me.
well, the next one that I have, and I'm going to defer to you for the next one after this one.
Okay.
Next one was when I talked about the PEMS. Oh, you did say sacred self-care right here. PEMS.
Oh,
So checking in with your own physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. What fills you up? What is your sacred self-care ingredients?
Yeah.
for each one of those, because the physical and the mental is your left brain attributes. That's your masculine, and your emotional and spiritual, that's your right brain, your feminine. So when you look after those 4 pillars, you are nurturing the being and the doing, the right and left, right? And
Yeah.
and actually finding yourself in that sense of flow and ease and following your intuition, right?
And it is that flow without even thinking or forcing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
it happens. It
it does.
happens.
It does.
Um, your
The
PEMS.
next one I have here is 4 agreements. So I'm going to let you fill that one in.
Oh, woo, woo. I've got that one.
You've
I've
got
got
that
that
one.
one. It's because I talk too much and I don't. Next thing I've got all these bullet points written down. I'm like, oh, and
Oopsie.
I think, well, there's a tip. Have a great inner circle. Have those who can pick up the pieces. I think Maureen's been doing that quite a bit lately, but we'll just flow with that. I appreciate her. Thank you. But the 4 agreements, I'm surprised it took so long for us to get in there. But be impeccable with your word.
Hmm.
Always do your best. Don't make assumptions and don't take anything personally. And I know Moira talked about just for today,
Mhm.
just for this morning, if you can pick one of those, and then just for this afternoon, pick
Yeah.
the same or another one, or just for today, or just for this meeting, or just when I go see my in-laws, or just, and it allows you not to go, for the rest of my life, I must not take anything personally, because you're literally going to throw yourself into an unrealistic expectation because we have human emotions. We're
Yep.
here. If you said, I'm never going to take anything personally again, well, you'll get striked with a lightning prod because that's just a BS thing. Cancel, cancel, cancel that thing. No, you're not going to get striked with a lightning prod, just saying. But that's just a BS belief that you're going to have because we want to be realistic. Be
Mhm.
impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't make assumptions and don't take anything personally. Allows you to just for today or just for this morning or just for this afternoon or evening function and move forward in life. 4 agreements
100%.
are amazing and just for today. Now I've got 2 bullet points that have got gaps, just so you know.
Well, this next one was one of yours too, as
Oh,
the see, hear, and acknowledge people for who they are. And of course, see, hear, and acknowledge you. This is going into the internal dialogue part
yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have, may your head and heart speak with one voice.
Yay. We're in alignment
Oh,
now.
we've got the flow. But I love that, may your head and heart speak with one voice. It's just such a, just for today, may your head and heart speak with one
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
That's it, just for today.
Yeah. And then when
Yeah.
you said that one, I had added on to that, how does this make me feel about me? Because that really helps you drop into that head and heart speaking as one voice,
Yeah.
right?
Which goes to a beautiful way to cultivate that our intuitive guided mindset is how do you speak to yourself?
Hmm.
And when we do whoopsies or wobbles or we say things, we jump. Moira taught me cancel, cancel, cancel. And I say that so slowly then because me to say cancel, 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 I can't even say it. But
And she always cracks up, you see.
I do. It makes me laugh when I say things. Oh, for goodness sake, you've done it again, Deborah. And I can hear it and I go, cancel, 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 cancel. So be aware of what you speak to yourself. Would you use those words to your best friend who's going through a challenging time? And one of the beautiful ones that Moira has said, which she's probably said many, many, many times, but today I listen, and it's what's the term of endearment you'll call yourself?
Mhm.
Hey, babe, come on. It's not that challenging. You've been through this before. Let's get it. Or, honey, what is that term of endearment?
That
Or,
you really,
sweetheart,
yeah, that really, really lights your heart
feels.
up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both, literally, both of us then grabbed our heart. We
Heart.
literally both just went,
Yes,
yeah,
we
wrap
did.
me in a, we did,
A
wrap me
love
in a love
blanket.
bubble. Give me, yeah, that's it. Give me that. Give me that. So,
Yep.
what is it? Be aware of what you speak to yourself.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Beautiful. The next one I have here is Deb said, life is not hard. Life's
Yeah.
intended to be fun, enjoyable, and the challenges and discombobulations that we encounter, they're a gift to us. They're to evolve us, up level us, to help us grow and expand in really auspicious ways, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got written down here, I said what you think about, you bring about. And
Mhm.
Moira put this beautiful thing, energy goes where energy grows.
Yep.
And I
Well,
think just remembering those things just brings you back to your intuitive guided mindset.
yep.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Yep.
Where are you going? What are you doing? Yeah.
Definitely. The next one I had was I was suggesting that we release worry based on that idea of energy grows where attention goes or flows. Because when we worry, we're stuck in our head, number one. So how can our head and heart speak in one voice? But also, it kind of takes us out of the present moment and it stops us from hearing our own intuitive guidance, our own
Yeah.
inner wisdom. So releasing worry, that's such an important part. And I have a multitude of tools to help release worry. But one of the pivotal ones that I find is to remind yourself when you worry about something, you are feeding energy to an outcome or something that you do not want to have happen.
Yeah.
So cancel, cancel, cancel.
And
Enough, enough.
yeah. 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 Definitely. I've got, you can't stuff up life.
Yes, I like that one.
Can't,
Can't
you
stuff up
can't.
life.
And no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. And that's from Dr. John DeMartini, who I love that. No matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love.
Yeah.
And you can't stuff it up.
Mm, yeah.
It's all on the way, not in the way. But even just knowing that, put your hand on your heart when you get to that point. I can't stuff this up.
Yep.
It's,
I've
it's
got
all on the
this.
way.
I've got
I've
this.
got this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect.
The next one I have is gratitude. That's when I
Woohoo!
talked about, we did talk about celebrate earlier, but gratitude and appreciate all the lessons. So, what that was when I thought of that when you said about you can't stuff it up. And so it means everything that you do, which whether you judge it as a failure or you let yourself down, it's still a gift. It's still,
Mm.
look what I did. Look what I learned. Look what
What
the
we get to
wisdom I've
do.
gained. Yeah, look what
Doesn't
I've
mean
got to do.
we literally both just leaned in. Ooh,
Oh, look at this.
look what I get to do. Yeah. Uh, and then Moira said, all is well in my world.
All is well in my world. And
She wakes
so,
up and says that every day. And even just saying that wraps you in just a beautiful divine. If that's how you're setting your intention for the day,
mm,
what a beautiful way to wake up to.
mhm,
I wake up and think about things I'm grateful for at
mhm,
that moment. So I wake up, I have that's my thing. But even just waking up, all is well in my world is just a beautiful, even if it doesn't feel it, you can't BS your you yeah. Anyway, just do that.
just
Just
do
do
that.
that.
Just do
Just do
that.
that.
And you could even do it just by putting your hand over your heart. Or if you're familiar with EFT tapping points, emotion freedom technique tapping point, you can actually tap it. Because
Yeah.
if there is any kind of residual, like, no, this is wrong, or that's when
Just,
we do those tactile pieces, that actually releases the resistance that may be present. So all is well in my world. All is always well in my world.
yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's my job to wrap up. But before I'm going to give you one last tip. And I know I said well, I lied clearly. The next tip is Moira and I are here for you.
Hmm.
You're not alone on this journey. You may think there's moments when you're alone, and no one's around you. We are there virtually, we're there physically, we're there mentally, we are there for you to bring you forward and to cultivate that intuitive guided mindset, but to release any stress or any blocks or anything that's in your way. We will add the vitality. We will give you insights. We will laugh, share, and cry with you in a way, as I hear myself say that, in a respectful way. In a way that's unique to us. But we're here for you because we are exceptionally great at what we do. And if I don't say that, I'm not honoring Moira's skill, my skill, and leaving you in that spot. So I want to say we are great at what we do.
Mhm.
Don't just don't just listen to a podcast, reach out. Let's get some traction moving that's faster than what's going on in your world, because life is effortless when we play the game right.
Right.
And Moira and I play the game. Even though we have our own wobbles, we still play the game, and it becomes effortless because it just flows for us. So we have over 80 years experience between us.
It's
And
because we walk our talk that it's this
yeah,
way.
yeah, totally.
Mhm.
We literally do what we love and love what we do, and we want to share that with you. So we are here for you. And that's how I'm wrapping that one up. But then I'm now going to go to Now I'm going to go to the end, because there are some beautiful tips on here. There's some amazing tips that even I still got the bullet points there when we talked. There was words in between the bullet points that was said. So if you liked this, the next step for you is to think about what you were going to take ahead with your day. What is that one tip just for today? What is that one tip that you're going to take? And then you're going to implement it. Then you're going to start implementing the next one. So I want you to think about, are you living life the way you actually have a desire to live life, or are you hesitating and pulling back in something that's going on?
Mm.
From that, I would like you to go, what's your highest priority action step you can take from the techniques we've given you today, and implement them, and then reach out to us and let us know. For me, the one I'm taking ahead with me is hand on heart. If anything hits me today, it's just going to go hand on heart straight away, pull myself back for that, because that's one of my favorites anyway, and it's a very quick one, and I don't have to think and the rest of it. But that's it. That's one of the ones for me, and bringing myself back to my heart, because that's where I would like to make my choices throughout my day. So let us
Definitely.
know what they are. Let us know what they are and what you're doing moving forward with that. That is us signing off. Actually, Moira, what's your tip? What's your tip you're going to do today? Let's ask Moira. Let's go jump straight into the left brain. What's your tip you're gonna pull forward today, or remind yourself of your beauty with your cultivating the intuitive guided mindset?
So, I shared with you all that I do like that all is well in my world, but I actually really like the you are worthy of love. That actually reminds me of the one of my favorite questions. I have lots of favorite questions. What would
We're
love
all
do? What would love do? So you see,
yeah,
that actually can really help you really lean into your intuitively guided mindset, because love will always lead you the right way. What would love do?
what would love do? There's another tip that we've got. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful,
Snuck that
beautiful.
one in.
Yeah, stuck that one in, which is fancy that it's actually on 2 post-it notes in front of me. Just saying that, people. All my post-it notes, I've got one from my daughter, and the rest are all the things that Moira's thrown at me. And I've got that's a great little one. That's a little great little one. So thank you, listeners, for today. We appreciate you coming to listen to our deliciously motivated mindset conversation podcast convo, our do deli, our clarity on cultivating an intuitive guided mindset. I trust you got value from today. Would love to know what your next step is from here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maura. And can I just congratulate the internet again?
Yes, truly. This
I'm
has been
appreciating
good.
the internet. Appreciating the
Appreciating.
internet. Because
Definitely.
before we hit record, we didn't know if we're going to make it to the end of this.
Yes,
So
it was a wee bit wobbly.
but it came through, and I guarantee at the end of this, we're going to put it out there that the internet's going to go crazy, and that's okay. But thank you, listeners. Thank you, Moira, and thank you for the wisdom today, people, for holding that space and sharing with us. Thank you,
Beautiful.
everyone. Thank
Thanks, dear
you.
Deb. Thanks, listeners. Bye.
Bye.